me an extra confidence and the boost that certainly Labour is going to retain the seat. And the presence here tonight, John, councillors and activists from Northfield, councillors and activists from Southall, each and every ward from the 5 Southall wards are represented here. So that is also the strength. So I'm thankful to you all that you made every effort to come. I'm saying that the community point of view, the faith groups here, every faith group is present here. So that is also giving us the confidence. I'm not going to talk about the national issues, which John has covered well. That will be repetition, and I'm looking forward to be working under the leadership of Jeremy Corbyn as a Prime Minister, John McDonnell as a Chancellor, and with that team, I'm looking forward on the 12th of December, then when we form our Labour. And I wanted to make it absolutely clear. I'm a British Member of Parliament. I will not be influenced by anybody for their personal egos, personal motives, but I will be influenced by the policies affecting us today and the future of our coming generations. We are here in Southall for the unity. We are not for the disunity. We are for equality. We are not for inequality. We are for solidarity. We are for tolerance, not for intolerance. That is the message we need to take to the communities locally, but making sure that we focus on our issues for the future generations. John has said everything what his vision, the future government's vision is, what the Labour Party policies are, and whatever the Labour Party policies John expressed, I fully support that. I'm not disagreeing on any issue or any point. I will carry on fighting for the rights of the local people and our local communities, bringing them together so that we can have a very peaceful, the prosperous communities in this area, so that we can become a role model for the rest of the country to bring the unity and the equality for all of us, not for me, not for I, but for us. And I once again thank you all. And when I start, I wanted to name people, but then if I start naming the people who started my political career in the middle 70s, the people who carried on supporting me throughout my political career, the community activists, those who supported me throughout, I cannot repay back to you. But I can only say to my family, to all of you, thank you very much, not only for coming, but showing that solidarity, that affection to me. And John, especially to you, thank you very much for coming today, giving me that confidence that our friendship together is the message to the rest of the movement, that we are working together, we are not divided, we are one, and we want the Labour victory together, not one section wants the other don't. We both want the victory to the Labour Party. Thank you.
What the Tories have done in terms of creating our economy overall. There was a report on health in the British Medical Journal at the beginning of October. It examined excess infant mortality. For the first time in 100 years, infant mortality has gone backwards rather than forwards. And they did an analysis of excess infant mortality between 2014 for 2017. What do we mean by excess? Excess means beyond the normal, additional to the normal behaviour. And there are over 570 children, infants, who died beyond the normal in that period. 170 of those have been associated in their analysis with poverty and austerity measures brought in by the government. So that means out there's 170 families grieving when they shouldn't have to. That's why we said, yes, we'll fund the NHS to its full level. We'll make sure that nurses and doctors and paramedics have the money that they need. But we will end the privatisation of the NHS. And under Labour, there will be no deals with Trump. The NHS is not for sale under Labour. We will not sell out to the corporations. There's lots of councillors here. You know the burden that you've carried over those last 9 years in terms of the scale of cuts, the undermining of our basic public services. In Ealing, you've done everything you possibly can to protect those services, and I respect you for it. But we can't go on like this. We can't stagger through another number of years as a result of the pressure that comes from central government and local councils. What the Tories do is they boast about reducing the deficit. Actually, the deficit's just gone up again. But they boast about reducing it. They haven't reduced it. They've simply shifted it onto your shoulders. They've put the burden of cuts onto you as a result of their mismanagement of the economy. And we're going to make sure local councils are funded. In this recent year, we've had record numbers of children coming into care all around the country because of the cutbacks in local government and the undermining of early intervention to support families. Crime is one of the biggest issues. It's not Brexit, actually. It's crime and people feeling unsafe. And it's because they've taken away our police officers. And it's no good Boris Johnson touring around saying we're going to fund 20,000 police. They've cut 21,000 police officers. So no wonder we've got problems with crime. But in addition to that, because of cuts in schools, there's large numbers of exclusions, and because of cuts in youth services, there's nowhere for our kids to go, so they're out on the streets prey to drug dealers and gangs as well. We'll reinstate the police numbers, but we'll do better than that. We'll make sure that they have the resources then to deal with it, working alongside local councils with youth services fully funded again, but also reopening all those Sure Start centres that were shut so that we have support for those families when they need it. All of that can only come about because of a Labour government. We're going to go into government on December the 13th. And people ask me in all these interviews, how are you going to pay for it? Well, it's simple. We just have a fair taxation system. Yeah, the top 5% will pay a bit more income tax, the richest earners. We'll reverse some of the corporation tax cuts because the corporation tax cuts were meant to result in corporations investing. They haven't. They've got 700 billion earned income. They're not investing. They're sitting on. But also, what we'll do is we'll make sure the rich and the corporations pay their taxes, and that means tackling tax evasion and tax avoidance. You know, the Tories in the last general election accused me of having a magic money tree. Well, there is one. It's in the Cayman Islands. I'm going to dig it up and I'm going to bring it back here. So they say, the key issue is to give us a decent majority so we can implement these policies. I believe actually people are up for it. I really do. And despite what the polls are saying at the moment, if you look at the recent trend in the polls, they're coming our way. The trend is moving towards Labour. So that means all we have to do is make sure that we get that vote out. And Southall Party and supporters have been terrific, not just in being able to get the vote out here, but also spreading out into other constituencies as well. When they see in other constituencies, when the Tories see you coming, you scare the hell out of them. Because you can mobilise in the way that you've mobilised in this community to bring all the diverse communities right there across our society out to support Labour. And this is an important election because, you know, it is about changing the world. We can't go on like this. We don't tackle climate change, it's an existential threat. If we don't deal with austerity, we'll be living alongside people in some of the most dire needs that we've ever faced. It'll be a divided society. So this election is absolutely critical. I urge you to do all you can. I know in this constituency that you work incredibly hard. all you can do in other constituencies, so much the better. And then on December the 13th, I tell you, when we win that election, the vision of Jeremy Corbyn turning up on his bike, taking off his bicycle clips, walking up number 10 and into number 10 as a Socialist Labour Prime Minister is the vision that we have.
I ask everyone, irrespective of race, colour, creed, to vote for Labour on Thursday, the 12th of December 2019, for a socialist, justice and equal society. And God bless you all. Thank you.